Welcome back, Bobcats. Yeah. Okay. All right, my name's Will. I'm going to be one of your casters for tonight, and I'm joined by someone a little different. We don't often see him up here. He's been up here once before, I believe, for...
something like that.
Charity Street?
It was Battle of the Bricks.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Introduce yourself.
My name's Logan. That's pretty much it.
Wonderful mustache. All right. Thank you guys for joining us on a Thursday, not our usual Tuesday. As you see, we're ready for another varsity Overwatch game. Looking forward to this one. Tuesday was a barn burner. It was a wonderful game. I think we might have a clip pulled up for you guys. Why don't you guys go ahead and take a look at this awesome play from Akusora.
Crazy goes down, Ravenstar goes down as well. Spencer, last time I saw him, was not the most health alive. Pulse Bomb going down as well. Spencer.
Fresco might be able to do something here. He might be able to get these last two picks. He's got to get this Tracer. He's able to get the Tracer.
Wait. Hey. Martyrdom. We just saw a con martyrdom in Overwatch 2. A 1v2 martyrdom pulse bomb in a 90.
As you can see there, the main man himself, Jackson Akusora, absolutely electric there at the end of Flashpoint. Definitely bringing that second map to OU's table. Couple fun things about that. We, both of the casters up here, me and Cav, neither of us thought we won that. We did not notice the point flip, and we thought Jackson died first. There was a lot. So the reaction is what it is. The reaction from the players is an awesome thing for us to capture. So hope you guys enjoyed that one. Another close game today. We're playing NIU today. Very good team. Last year, I believe it ended up being a 3-0 for the side of Ohio. It was a very close 3-0 though. So it'll be interesting to see how they approach tonight. Now, a couple things just changed with the game. Logan, anything big that you're looking at tonight?
Yeah, so we have a lot of new patch notes. I really think that the Widow patch notes are insane. So if you don't know, originally when Season 9 came out, the patch notes increased projectile size for almost every hero. So it was like, Widow, Hanzo, everyone just insane. You shoot over here and it hits the head. So they actually, this last patch note that came out, or patch notes that came out on the 21st, it reduced a lot of heroes, but specifically for Widow, it increased her distance, but it decreased projectile size, which I think is really cool to see. For you could play way farther back and still get shots off and headshots and all that stuff.
Yeah, certainly a couple fun changes. A couple buffs to Alari, smaller quality of life, and a little bit of a buff to Junkrat. I was hearing some of the varsity players talk about those earlier. Alari, while viable, we're probably not going to see Alari tonight, but now it's to a point where you might be able to see Alari come out for actual games now, which is interesting. Puts her in a pretty good state. And then the other change was, of course, Junkrat changes. They were debating the Junkrat changes. They all like them. It's just a question of whether or not they'll be able to use them. So, Junkrat, fun hero. There's a lot kind of weird stuff for him. So we also have a couple other things ready for you guys tonight. I believe we have standings ready. Of course, pretty good season for Ohio so far. Or, sorry, this is the schedule. My bad. Can't read. Whoopsies. So we have the schedule for tonight. Of course, NKU Ball State. We probably know how that one's going to go. Couple other highlights here. WMU and EMU. That'll be a fun game to watch. And Bowling Green, I believe, is much better than they were last year. And I know Central is still a good team, so I'm sure that'll be a fun game to watch as well. But you're joining us here for Ohio versus NIU tonight. Fun game, of course. I think that's what we expect every night from this OU team. There's a lot of character on that team back there, and they run through it every single night, and it's awesome to watch. So we also have standings pulled up there. Tie for first. Ball State down a game though, but perfect records, whatever, it's fine. Miami and Ball State up top. OU trailing just barely, and NEU dropped a game to, I believe it was Western Michigan not long ago. Western? I'm not positive. They dropped a game to someone I believe that was kind of unexpected. Is what it is. That'll be something to watch. The rest of kind of ESC kind of shaking out, not similarly to what it was last year, but I think teams are certainly falling into place. So kind of interesting to see. Now, Logan, I have questions for you.
Yeah.
Ideal world tonight. What do you want to see played by this OU team? There's a lot of dive. Is what they play usually. What do you want to see? So,
if you don't know, Zach, Crazeman G, he plays ball. And ball is his main tank. Yes. It's any dive tank, but ball specifically. I want to see Crazeman G ball. I'm excited for it. Ball got buffed this past patch. He's just awesome, and I want to see that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think, the Fresco and Akusora DPS play has been unbelievable to watch. I've absolutely loved it this season. I want to see more of that, and you know what I want to see? I want to see the amazing synergy of LeBron James and Dexter Pittman. I was thinking that in my head, and I completely forgot the basketball reference in there. But, the synergy's there.
So, for the people that don't know, would you kind of explain why their names are LeBron James and Dexter Pittman?
Yeah, so Slow-O from last year decided he wanted to change his name in Overwatch. Took about 3 hours of 4 of us talking and trying to convince him not to choose LeBron James, he chose LeBron James. He has since been in a couple Twitch clips with Super and I think J3, just absolutely having a blast, talking like LeBron and doing whatever he can in games. You know, he's looking for that. He's looking for those big games, big 3-point contests. He has his opinions on the All-Star game right there. You know, he's got his things going. And then going into this season, Jack, who was Monkey on the team originally, was talking to him, and he was like, you know what, I'm going to change my name too. And they were thinking about starting fives. They were originally going to change all the team name. Ended up not doing that, but he decided on Dexter Pittman. So, you know, and if you look up LeBron's worst ever teammate, I believe it comes up as Dexter Pittman.
It's one of the top 5.
What?
It's one of the top 5.
Yeah, it's got to be up there. So, you know, it does look like we are going to be loading into game. Of course, ESC has a weekly rotation for capture point maps. So I believe we started on Eco Point Antarctica on Tuesday. We'll be starting there again today. Will certainly be a interesting map choice for this OU team. A lot of different play on each set of maps here. A lot of weird geometry. Makes for some interesting places. Maybe not probably not Widow play, unless it's kind of on this point. Oh, well, we are seeing a weird team comp here. Right.
My guess is Akasor is not going to keep Sim. He's just going to use it as the TP out and then swap to a different character, probably Tracer.
Yeah, we certainly saw that happen, I think once or twice. Yeah, it looks like he's getting ready to do that right there. Does look like we do have a couple different people on NIU this year. Looks like, I believe we had Flawless, Racer, and Hayes last year. Don't recognize the rest of them. So, you know, a couple new names, a couple new faces, new team comp from them. So we will see how they approach this. Of course, Fresco kind of just taking this high ground, attempting to just put some pot shots in, get a little bit of damage off. Crazy Man G on the Sigma, kind of keeping this at a range. He is going to be playing into a Malga on the side of NIU, though. That is not going to be easy for him. LeBron James instantly just picking off Allegro right there. Easy way to start the game, I guess. Akusora getting Flawless down really low, but also kind of does himself in right there and almost doesn't get out. Crazy Man G does try and take this kind of aggressive corner angle just to make sure that his team can cap point here, and they do so. NIU, of course, waiting for their DPS to rejoin them, and he does end up rejoining them, and they are on the siege once more. They have that Lucio speed boost, and they are going to use it and try to get to point as fast as possible. It does, you see turret form Bastion coming out, and Crazy Man G just running away from that, not wanting anything to do with it. Does end up landing a rock on Allegro, doesn't do enough. Akusora kind of in the back part here, just getting a little bit of damage off. Racer gets really low and does end up going down to Fresco. And we do see Flip Flop get kind of a little bit of damage right there. Oh, does he? Does not land the Pulse Bomb, but Akusora and Fresco do enough damage to get a lot of this team down. Crazy Man G just kind of putting the last little melee onto Flip Flop there. What did you see in that fight?
Honestly, it was a lot. It was a lot. It's very split up. I don't see. It's not as much of a brawl like fighting as we see with the mostly dive. A lot of off angles and stuff, and Akasora seems to be playing very around the team.
I would certainly say that, and we have seen that with his Tracer a lot, and he just does it right there again. Flawless going down almost instantly before this fight even starts, and NIU is continuing to engage, and Fresco gets flip-flopped. They will have no choice but to retreat, and it looks like they are doing just that. Everybody leaving as fast as possible. Racer trying to stay alive. Crazy Man G does get hazed, though, and Akusora finishes off Racer. Leaves no one left on point for NIU, and they must have a long wait for their team to come back. Of course, we do see Akusora kind of taking this aggressive angle. He knows there's a couple players waiting around. He wants to find someone and catch them out. He might get caught out by this Sojourn here, though, and he almost does. Does he notice where? Doesn't. He just has to escape. He does so. Crazy Man G kind of using this ult in a weird spot, just trying to get somebody, and he ends up picking up Racer. It goes immediately down. Beat Drop couldn't even save him. Crazy Man G getting enough damage into other players, too, to cause some ruckus. We do see Fresco end up getting a couple shots off onto random players. Akusora picking off Hayes in the back there. Kind of surprising, honestly. I thought he was on the corner there for a second. We do see continuous little pot shots coming in from OU, and it's enough. Crazy Man G getting 2. And then Akusora just for good measure, dropping that little pulse bomb on Flawless right there. And there's not enough from NIU to take any point percentage on that point.
We see OU take the first round. I'm excited. They're playing well.
It's a very exciting. There was a lot of interplay there. There was a lot of there was good communication. I think in prior maps we've seen communication, but it hasn't always been joined up. There was a lot of good calls there. I think it was in the bottom right-hand corner when Crazy Man G used his ult. He was going to use it on the supports, and somebody definitely called and said, "You need to look right," or tank. Tank was isolated in a spot where nobody could really get to him. Just lift him up. Everybody unloads anything they got on him, and they got him down, and that was pretty much fight one from that moment.
Exactly.
Crazy Man G sitting here on ball now. Of course, the variety of this kind of map, there's a lot of geometry, a lot of different ways you can play this, and it looks like it is ball against Sigma. Could be an interesting kind of approach here. Ohio kind of staying together. They've got a pretty decent support and DPS line. Crazy Man G does kind of get stuck right there, and he's trying to use a couple pieces of ball tech to try and get up onto a ledge. Unable to do so. Does get hacked though. And Ohio is not prepared for that. Hayes finishing off Crazy Man G very quickly. Fresco just laying a couple pot shots on the table, just trying to get a little bit of damage in. Doesn't get much. Allegro ends up picking off Akusora as well. This is going to be a whole rethink from Ohio. They cannot run a lot of this into it. Ooh, maybe they are going to stick with it. Okay, we will see them stay with it going into a Sombra here. This is kind of interesting. Sombra kind of, pretty much can shut down a lot of what's on the side of Ohio here, but they are confident running into this clearly. It looks like since they now know the Sombra's there, they have a different way of approaching this, and they're being much less aggressive, and they're kind of waiting for NIU to make their mistake. And Fresco manages to pick up Hayes off the bounce right there from Crazy Man G. But Baptiste almost getting downed there. Fresco does end up getting flip-flop in the end. Dexter Pittman ends up getting Allegro, and Racer's the only one left on point. Nothing really left for him to do there. Just kind of standing there, but getting down by a couple players. Flawless, last one contesting point here, and it looks like he'll just back off, as he probably should. It was a good fight there. Of course, we are seeing this Sombra still kind of be able to run into OU. How would you play around a Sombra in this scenario, Logan?
To be fair, when you get high enough level in the ball play, Sombra isn't as big of a deal as they would be in the lower level ranks. I think, and especially with Crazy Man G, I think he's very used to playing around the Sombra. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw, another character come out like McCree or Cassidy that would help counter the Sombra. And we actually see him kill the Sombra right away.
Yeah, we see a lot happen right there. Flawless ends up getting two. Akusora and Crazy Man G kind of leading the charge there. And I think everybody got down from the side of NIU there. Kind of a great outcome for what that fight started as. It wasn't a very aggressive fight from either side. And NIU just made a couple of mistakes there. Allegro got down really low, was aggressing on Crazy Man G, and just ended up kind of separating himself from the team and just tried to get back, but it was way too late. And Crazy Man G was able to just absolutely run a house on the whole backline of NIU. And they do lose point for a little bit of time there, but it isn't a crazy amount. And we do see Dexter Pittman go down to that Sombra. Crazy Man G does drop Minefield, and it gets Hayes. Akusora just trying to get a little bit more damage in here. Gotta wait for kind of his Lucio to heal up a little bit. And we do see, Akusora does get the stick on to Racer, and Racer does get downed by Fresco. It looks like enough has happened for Ohio to kind of push back what was left of NIU. And they are trying to kind of aggress onto this Tracer. Flawless certainly dragging a lot of Ohio players into weird areas, and I think that might be part of NIU's goal here. They're playing a very rangy comp. And if the moment arises where they can catch one or two Ohio players out, they can definitely kind of siege on that. Dexter Pittman, though, kind of is hanging in these backlines now. He knows he does not want to deal with any part of Allegro. And we do see kind of Crazy Man G stay very low, but Racer does get Fresco there, and Akusora does not have a pulse bomb to try and retaliate in this backline that is kind of separated right now. Ohio kind of pulling off point, trying to kind of hide. Akusora does end up seeing Flawless there, not able to get the kill. But he does overextend a little bit, and he does reveal his location, so he will have to play this a little bit differently than he was. Akusora just putting in a little bit of damage onto Flawless, making sure to apply pressure. And there is pressure coming from all angles now, but Akusora does end up getting behind Flawless and downs him. LeBron James also getting flip-flop in the backline right there. We're seeing some Reddit Lucio action from LeBron James right there. And Akusora and Fresco do enough and just siege on the opportunity. And OU caps the point, 99-77. Certainly a good Ohio win there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. Now, I do want to bring to the light that you have been calling Akusora Fresco for the past at least 2 games. Not 2 games as in last week or 2 days ago and today. Now, do you know why?
Yes, I can explain this very well. Last year we had, of course, Dexter Pittman with the play right there. Nice little camera angle of him right there. Always love to see that smiling face. But yeah, back to the Fresco and Akusora piece. You know, last year we had Lucas Kuna on the team last year. He would often play Widowmaker, and Jackson would often play Tracer. This year, with how things shook out, you know, we get to see a lot more of Akusora on Tracer and the other DPS on a lot of different flexible characters. So, you know, just me attempting to remember the right thing at the right time, which I'm not good at all. So, you know, things happen. Looks like we do have a couple announcements though for the group. We have a TikTok, and you know what? That clip that we have of Akusora that we showed you earlier, it's popping off on TikTok right now, guys. Go and follow the TikTok. It's bobcat.esports on TikTok. Some wonderful content there. Join us, follow, like, comment, do all the engagement stuff. I don't know what matters for TikTok. I can't remember. And then we got one more thing. We got Ohio Esports Instagram. I believe they have a nice little image pack coming out from the varsity players tonight. Should be... It's Ohio... Okay, never mind. I miswrote something, guys. TikTok is ohio.esports. So you know that whole nice little read thing I did? Yeah, I wrote it down wrong. Anyway, that might mean... Oh, I might have flipped the Instagram too. Anyway, we have an Instagram. You should just be able to search up either Ohio or Bobcat Esports. One of the two. And it should be there. Yeah, follow that. We have content coming out on there. There's more content coming out every day. We hope to see a lot more. And then we also have a couple smaller updates as well from our... not smaller updates, actually. This is pretty big. Our COD team is goated right now. You know, they're popping off. They're doing their business. So yeah, they were going to go to a LAN this weekend. Things changed. I believe they're playing it right now. If at some point you look behind me and see other people on the other side of the arena that usually aren't there, that's the COD team. They're rocking out tonight. They're doing a great job. And they are hoping to start their own league. I went ahead and made sure it was okay to say this before stream. They're trying to start the College Coliseum of COD. It's going to be a 16-team league. I believe they already have the 16 teams locked in. It's going to be some of the best COD teams in the nation, or on the East Coast, sorry. There is Ohio State, Rutgers, Cincy, Ole Miss, Iowa, Mississippi State, Ohio Esports, of course. And then I believe I'm missing a couple more. I know there's I believe Ontario Tech is going to be in the league as well. Going to be awesome. Going to be really fun. Our games will be streamed here. Other teams will have their game streamed wherever. But you know what? We're bringing it back home real quick. ESC. Let's see what else is going on around ESC tonight. There should be a couple other things that we might have. I'm not positive. I might have lied. Or actually, maybe from Tuesday. We do have results from Tuesday. That's what I meant to bring up. So yeah, of course, ESC, a very competitive league this year. A lot has changed, honestly, from last year. There are a lot more competitive matches overall. Last year it was a lot of 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. I believe every 3-0, it was 75% of ESC matches for Overwatch with 3-0s. I believe that's the number. Just kind of all or nothing. It's certainly different this year. We've seen a lot more close games, and I mean, for close games, this week
wasn't the best for close games. The only 2 close games really were BGSU and Kent State, and then of course our beloved Ohio Esports against Ball State, falling 3-2. It's tough, but they'll work through it. They always do. They are a really strong bunch back there, and they are ready to rebound. They did have a wonderful kind of team activity today. They got as many team members as they could into a call, and they just off-rolled on competitive Overwatch for about an hour and a half, and it went very well. I believe their record ended up being 5-1. So it was just them doing their thing. I believe it was I'm trying to think. Crazy Man G played some DPS, played some support. I was going to say Slow-O. It's not Slow-O anymore. It is LeBron James. LeBron James played, I believe, some support and some DPS. Just have some fun, burn off steam. It was a rough game. They are past it now. They're on the future, and, the future is Kings Row. We're going to be seeing Ohio on Kings Row. Of course, the map was the Kryptonite last year. It is no longer the Kryptonite this year. They are, I believe, 4-1 in streamed matches on Kings Row. And then we didn't see it there for about 2-3 weeks. So, Logan, you've played a lot of Kings Row in your time. I know you have. I have too. My games are always a disaster, but in your important games, well, I
wouldn't say important, but
they're better than my comp games. Let's be real. What is a good Kings Row map for you guys? What do you play? How do you approach different things? What if certain things happen? What is your ideal Kings Row game?
So it really depends on if you're attacking or if you're on defense. I think attacking. Well, we actually see OU on defense right now, so I believe. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think as of right now, you usually play, characters like Ashe, Sojourn. We have, as we see, Ashe and Sojourn, and those characters tend to sit on the high top, the high parts of the map, and just shoot down. As the tank and the other, the supports will just play by themselves.
Yeah, certainly. And we do see a little bit of a different comp come out here from OU. LeBron James on kind of a comfort pick of Ana certainly will be fun. Crazy Man G on Winston. Not something we often see, but something he's very good at. And I believe he actually tried out for the team with a lot of Winston. But we are seeing this right here. And of course, Akusora kind of taking this backline approach. Ohio just not in a really great place to defend here. They kind of need to get one pick before they can really start pushing in. And they have not gotten anything yet. Crazy Man G does end up jumping on point and gets Hayes down really low, but not low enough. It does not give an opening for any Ohio player to actually really come in and do a lot of damage. Flawless ends up getting Akusora in the background. The back line. And Dexter Pittman almost getting dove, and he does end up going down to Flawless. Ohio's probably got no choice but to just contest this and hope they can burn some time. We do see Fresco as the last player alive, just kind of retreating. Not worth giving them the ult charge, worth getting yourself a little bit more. You can put in some damage right there. Not a ton, but you can get some ult charge out of that. And we do see Ohio leave a 5-minute time bank on the first point. After all that talking up that, we're good at Kings Row, Caster's Curse happened, is what it is. We do see a lot coming out from the Ohio team here, though. Of course, Jackson playing kind of that Ashe and Fresco playing Sojourn. That's kind of been a common comp for them. They will run that on Kings Row. They ran it on, I believe, I've seen it on Eichenwald and Scrims. It's something they're confident in running, and they can do that. Flawless ends up getting LeBron James's lantern out of the sky. I think he meant to get a little bit more than that, but that's all he gets. And Crazy Man G kind of in a bad spot here with Ram, but he does end up using a little bit of resistance and isn't able to get anything. He is able to get Hayes down. Nothing else out of it, and the BAP ultimate kind of pushes most of the side of OU back. But Crazy Man G does kind of chase a little bit here. The whole side of NIU is pretty low, and Ohio's trying to take advantage of that and sieging the best they can. Unable to get much more. Fresco does end up getting raced with. They might be able to get one or two more out of this. Flawless goes down, Austie goes down. And Racer does as well. Yeah, Ohio certainly getting what they need to do done. Ooh, Fresco does end up picking off Akusora in the backline there. Now, we do see one thing different from the side of NIU that I didn't catch at the beginning. There's a sub. Austie came in for a DPS on the side of NIU. I'm not positive who. So certainly a little bit different approach for Kings Row for them. Ohio sticking with their 5 for now. Don't know how that end might turn out. Dexter Pittman using his ult, though, to kind of heal up the whole team, make sure that his whole team stays alive. And would you see the Bob ultimate come out to contest point on this corner right here? They don't want NIU to pass this corner, and they want them to burn ults to try and get around. Hayes does use his ultimate to kind of save a couple people there. He doesn't end up doing a ton. No one was really sieging them at that moment. Flawless is in the back line of Ohio right now, and he's trying his best to get a little bit of damage off. Akusora low. Akusora goes down to Osti right there. Crazy Man G does end up getting Racer, though. And Fresco's using his ult right here, and it just causes the whole side of NIU to run and hide. Ohio here, just trying to push back what they can, and Fresco ends up getting the nice little pick on a flip-flop there. That's going to hold back NIU for at least another 20 seconds while they wait for that respawn.
Good to see you.
And the side of NIU now left to do a lot with nothing. 2 ults on the side of NIU, nothing on the side of Ohio either. We are going to see kind of a dry fight from on the side of Ohio here, and NIU can certainly use that BAP ultimate to kind of open up this fight. It'll be interesting to see if they do that. LeBron James just kind of getting some pot shot healing here, kind of getting some ult charge off Fresco right there. Crazy Man G just trying to push into this front part right here, just trying to get a little bit done. He is able to try and get some damage into the... he changes form real quick and does get Osti right out of the fight right there. Flip-Flop does end up getting Akusora, though. That's going to hurt. And we do see the BAP ultimate come out from the side of NIU. Everybody kind of runs from that. Nobody really wants to deal with it. We don't have Bob ultimate on the side of OU yet. Actually, we saw a switch. Akusora now playing Tracer. Fresco playing Sojourn, I believe. Yeah, same from Fresco there. Akusora is the only switch. Crazy Man G getting really low there. The heals are still coming into him. Dexter Pittman is just keeping that Harmony Orb on him. And, of course, LeBron James just lobbing the pot shots in to try and get that healing. Akusora does end up getting flip-flop in the fight, and he might try... he does not try to pulse bomb. I thought he might end up trying to use it right there. Does just barely get it, and it looks like Akusora and Crazy Man G just kind of get most of the side of NIU down. Very long and extended fight right there, but Ohio coming out on top, and I would say on top in the ultimate department as well. What did you see go on in that fight?
So, as you said, a very long fight. With this new patch, the fights are either in seconds or they take minutes. I played, it's Coliseum. I was playing a game the other day, and we were on that first, right where the capture point is. It was a 5-minute fight between us before one of us eventually died. I don't remember which one, but yeah. And if you don't...
Echoing goats, I would say. Very similar to that period of the game. Fights taking a long time. You can say what you can about that period of time in the game. Oh, Flawless does end up picking off Akusora here. I wasn't thinking he would get anything in the pre-fight there. But Flawless does end up getting Akusora. Fresco retaliating, though, getting Hayes, and he's trying to get Baptiste out of the backline. Unable to do so, and Racer does just eat Fresco right there. And Crazy Man G uses his ultimate in retaliation as well. He might be able to get 1 or 2 out from the side of NIU. Unable to, though, and his ultimate does expire. Kind of rough there from the side of OU, but they do kind of hold this kind of front point. Dexter Pittman getting the kill onto Osti right there. That's important. He's trying to get this Sojourn out as often as he can, and Osti has found no luck, really, since he's come into this game. He had a little bit of luck early on, but even his ultimates have not been up to snuff. Crazy Man G kind of holding this corner right here. This is where OU knows they need to hold. They don't have a Bob to hold on corner anymore. They have to have someone stand there. Why not have the tank stand there? Everybody else just has to stay alive while they lob the healing in. And Crazy Man G will do as much as he can against this other opposing Ramatra. And he might just walk and try to go for that Sojourn behind. Doesn't end up doing that. Fresco ends up picking off Hayes and Racer, though, and Osti does get Fresco. It's just not enough, though. Little too late. Ohio holds at the important corner on Kings Row.
You see, that corner is
one of make or break.
One of the worst corners that I've been playing the game for almost 5 years, and the amount of times I can recall of sitting at that corner, on both sides and just absolutely being like, why are we here? Why could we not go anywhere?
I'm trying to remember. Do you remember when Eichenwald didn't have the second corridor on the right side?
Yes, I do remember that.
It echoes that a lot. That corner is one of those spots that everybody's just standing there and they're like, we don't know how to pass. Like, it's just one of those places. That corner, though, has shown OU trouble in the past. I'm pretty sure that's why they kept on Ash as long as they did. They could use that ultimate in the case of emergency and then just immediately switch off if it doesn't work out. They used it. It worked. Switched to Tracer. Perfect. Nice little communication there on the side of OU. Crazy Man G, of course, giggling. They have plans. They have plans for this attack, and we are seeing LeBron James on a Lari to start. Don't often get to see her in comp. The changes today, reducing some cooldowns on her. I keep on wanting to say turret. It's not a turret. What is it?
Healing
pylon. Pylon. Yes. Reduced the cooldown on that. I believe maybe increased the healing, and I think they increased her healing output overall. Not positive. There are just a lot of improvements to her right now, and the change log was long on her side. So, of course, we do see a POV from Fresco coming around this corner right here. He's kind of in the back line, just trying to get some pot damage off, trying to see if he might be able to get a single shot. Akusora does switch to Widow here. No trick games from OU, it doesn't look like, but they are kind of waiting here. It'll be interesting to see if Akusora can get any little pick off right there. Crazy Man G does end up just kind of pushing the side of NIU back. NIU doesn't really want to contest this, and you know, with the Zarya on the opposing side, I don't really know if they can run into a Ramatra very well. They do so though. Fresco ends up getting flip-flops Immortality Field out of the fight. Kind of a good trade right there, and doing enough. Ohio on the point does get one tick. I did not even notice they were capping to start. Flawless ends up getting Akusora though, but does go down in retaliation from Fresco. Racer does get Crazy Man G, but Fresco continuously just standing on this high ground, just putting some damage in. And it looks like Ohio's going to try and contest this as well. Might get 2 ticks out of this. Doesn't look like they're going to switch anything on the side of NIU. Looks like they might just let them have it. They will. NIU lets Ohio have this point. Kind of, I think this was more or less just don't give them ult charge. We don't need to lose a fight, and we can push past the corridor right here.
You see, giving them, they already know exactly where they need to hold to. So in that case, you don't want to lose anybody. You don't want them to push it farther than they need to. You just want to, you know, play back. Be ready. This is probably a better choke than what they originally had. They would be regrouped differently. I'd say overall it's a pretty smart play.
We do see a Crazy Man G ultimate come out here almost as I think it was kind of a knee-jerk reaction right there, but he is going to try and get something out of this. The ultimates do come out from the side of NIU as well. Double support ultimates. That's going to be important. Akusora does end up getting Osti in the back lines, and Akusora is going to run into this kind of side portion, switching off Widow immediately, going right back to what he does best, doing the darn thing, getting some damage off in places that probably he should not. Crazy Man G and Fresco getting some healers out of this fight as well. Racer getting Dexter Pittman though. The side of Ohio does not have much healing, but it doesn't matter if Akusora is absolutely demolishing anything that's in front of him. NIU knows where they have to hold. They have to get here quickly. And Ohio's pushing right up to that point. It doesn't look like we're going to see a switch from NIU. This is going to be a tough contest in the first place. Oh, Fresco. Wow, Fresco getting the immediate pickoff with that ultimate. It doesn't even matter. NIU can't even push the overtime counter to start. What a way for Ohio to end that right there. Doesn't even let them use what they have. Ohio doing what they need to do to keep the wins on the board. Of course, 2-0 now. Nice little play from Flawless here. But, you know, that doesn't matter. The side of Ohio had quite a few important moments right there. Of course, Akusora doing what he does best on Tracer. Like, we don't often get to see, we didn't get to see him on Tracer almost at all last year. Now seeing him on Tracer, it's a fun thing to watch. So, looking forward to seeing more of that next fight, or more of that next map. It does look like they are going to be making a change on the side of Ohio. I believe this will be Water coming in for Dexter Pittman. Believe so. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We will see. So going to while we're between matches, and we were talking about the patch notes. Some of the things that I'm seeing when I'm just looking over them, we see Zarya got a big buff. Her projectile, her right click, left click, does more damage per second.
I did see that now.
The maximum damage is now 190. So when she's at full charge, you know, 190 damage per second, you know, almost insta kills if you hold it for 1 second, which is crazy.
That's a wild thing for them to have in the game. A Widow one-shot. No.
I know you were talking about Junkrat. Junkrat's concussion mine is decreased, so the cooldown's decreased. It does more damage, and it does the minimum damage. So instead of doing just 20 damage, it does 55 damage at a minimum.
Yeah, when they were talking about the Junkrat changes earlier, the thing that was intriguing to them is they kind of just raised his floor. A lot of what he could do before, he could do, or a lot of what he does now, he could do before, but you just had to be 100% with it all the time. And now they've made it, they lowered his skill ceiling a lot, and they've increased just his overall hero floor. So kind of an interesting thing to see. You also had Widow pulled up there. I don't know the exact specs for what happened with Widow, but that was the interesting one for me.
Yeah, so Widow, Widow's her shot, or her gun technically, it uses a smaller projectile size, but instead of 40 to 60 meters, she's actually 50 to 70 meters is her fall off. So when you're between 50 to 70 meters, you do the max amount of damage that she can deal. With that though, she's not firing, planets now. So
yeah, but things have to be sacrificed. So I think that's a good sacrifice. I think it honestly, I don't know if it's a Widow. It is a Widow buff. It just increases her utility, I would say, on a lot of maps.
It's more of a flip. So I don't think it's a buff or a nerf, but she definitely was very, very good. Especially when Season 9 came out, because of that projectile size. And I remember I was having a conversation with our club president for Overwatch, and I said, hey, I think Widow needs less damage fall off, but bring the projectile size down. Before I think that was the day after it came out, and I'm just so excited that I was right.
Yeah. We do see a couple changes, one major change for the side of OU. I don't believe we see any changes on the side. Oh, yes, we do see one change on the side of NIU as well. Otzi. We'll say it's Otzi. Otzi goes out. Allegro's back in, and on the side of Ohio, Dexter Pittman's out, and Water's back in. Of course, Water, mostly the Kiriko main on the team. Always fun to see him play Kiriko. I will never forget when we were at tryouts, we were looking let's see everybody's playtime, and so we were looking on accounts. About 3 weeks into the season, and this guy has, I think it was 20 hours on only Kiriko. So, he has that dog in him. Or is it Fox? I think she has a Fox, right?
It's a Fox, yeah.
Has that Fox in him, I guess? All right. That one didn't quite work out, but we'll keep trying. But so we do see a couple changes there from the side, both sides for this Flashpoint game, and of course, Crazy Man G and LeBron James doing some interesting stuff. It looks like we are seeing a couple changes. Yeah, okay. So we see Water on Mercy instantly. That one sticks out to me. Okay, this is a weird team comp. All right, we're gonna need to figure this one out.
I'm confused. We don't usually see, I guess he was doing it as a troll, I'm assuming. But yeah, so we're actually going to see Lucio as LeBron James. I think perfect dive comp, pretty much.
Yeah, I would say so.
And I'm really excited. I love dive, to be honest.
Dive is so much fun, especially on Flashpoint. It's just such an open space. There's a lot of different places to do a lot of different things. And plays like we saw on the map on Tuesday could certainly happen at any moment. And Crazy Man G instantly kind of opening this fight up, just kind of getting a little pile drive, trying to get some damage off, get his ultimate charge up. Does get almost to 40%. Nakusora kind of following close behind. Oh, doesn't I think he ran in front of Flawless on accident, not on purpose at all. Just kind of bad teleport is what it is. Ohio's got to deal with it now. Fresco just kind of holding this weird angle right here, trying to hope to get a little bit of long-range damage. And Crazy Man G does end up getting Allegro out of this fight. That's important, but he does not have the healing. He has to go find these mega health packs, and he knows where all these mega health packs are. That's the benefit of being a singular player of ball. You know where everything is. Any utility on a map, he knows where it is. He's waiting for those health packs to regen, though. And we do see a little bit coming out from NIU here. There's a minefield coming out from the side of OU2 just to make sure NIU does not get onto point, and no ultimates really seen yet from NIU. I'm surprised we don't see Window here soon. I would be surprised if we don't see Window, excuse me. Fresco does end up just kind of standing right there. No one's really shooting at him. He's shooting at everybody else. Kind of an interesting approach. Fresco, of course, and Akusora. Akusora getting the final kills right there onto Racer and Flawless. I think Flawless may have just tried to hide inside or beneath the body of Malga right there. Kind of an interesting way to try and avoid getting killed, I guess. LeBron James, of course, just, you know, being Reddit Lucio, doing his thing. Give him time, let him cook. Of course, does get the spot onto NIU when they're coming around this corner. But Akusora's behind them. He's hoping to get one little pick off. We do see Water use his Kitsune Rush immediately. We see a Malga rush in as well. Fresco uses his ultimate too, of course, trying to just get as much damage off on the side as he can. Fresco getting 2 with an ult and 1 with not, and Akusora ends up getting Flawless. There's not much left for the side of NIU to really hope on here. Only 3 left on point, 4 for the side of Ohio. They just gotta kind of hold this point. They gotta flip this point. Never mind. Akusora and LeBron James do end up getting done what they need to get done. And I think we're gonna see an immediate disengage off this point right here. Yes, we will. And they're already on the move. They might be able to beat NIU to this next point. It'll be close, but they might be able to get there.
So between team fights, I just want to say we see NIU playing Malga. You know, Malga, relatively new character. You don't see him as much, you know, and I rarely see him in comp anymore. More of a troll pick than anything. How do you feel about that?
So I know that this team, they know what Malga can bring to the table. They've used him before. There's certain situations that I think they know they can use Malga in. That's why we haven't seen it a lot on the side of Ohio. There are characters that there's just not a time and place for. Malga is not one of those characters. There is a time and a place for Malga, but he needs a lot with his team. It's almost like Reinhardt. You can go into a team fight in comp with Reinhardt, but you're going to have help at all times or else it's going to go bad. And like we see right here, this team fight has been going for like 30 seconds or so. Lack of joined up thinking on the side of NIU. The supports were not with the Malga. The Malga just falls. There's not enough there. Fresco, Akusora, LeBron James, kind of team kill right there. Everybody getting involved. LeBron James does go down, though, right at the end. Doesn't quite matter. It's a Lucio. He'll get back. It'll be fine.
Yeah, so honestly, I really don't know what to say. I'll be honest.
That was a quick fight. We were talking through it, and I was like, yeah, there's not much happening right now. It's just kind of like pre-fight, and then it was over. So, you know, like, here's what it is. Of course, there are ultimates on both sides, and we do see a Kitsune Rush open up on the side of Ohio, and Crazy Man G does not drop the minefield, but does kind of get ready for it. And we do see this Malga come out, and this Malga absolutely just getting melted by everything in its path. Water does get Flawless right there, but not before Fresco gets downed. So Ohio leaving this 4-1, so not a bad trade there. Of course, just running over to the next point. LeBron James does get got by Racer right at the end there. I just realized I've been using the words "get got" a lot. I said it on stream I think 4 times on Tuesday, and I think it's a funny like phrase of words, but I don't know why I use it.
We need a counter.
We do need a counter for that. We need a counter for that and the amount of times I mess up player cams for Valorant. Alright, anyway, thank you to the people in the back who run player cams. I cannot do what you do. Fresco here does have his ultimate as well as Crazy Man G, and this is a really good point for a Crazy Man G ultimate, and he uses it. Kind of zoning, just keep him out from coming on that, or coming around that little side right there. Fresco is able to just get a lot of damage in onto whatever's in his wake, but Racer does end up getting him down. Crazy Man G just barely getting some damage in. He's got to stay alive. The heals on the side of Ohio, there's not a ton, but there is enough. And we do see Akusora just immediately get Flawless. One clip, one punch, and it's over. Ohio does cap that point. I thought that they had capped earlier on than that, but, you know, the fight must go on, I guess. We do see Jackson here kind of picking an angle just to try and flank with LeBron James. Eventually they'll get a nice little boostio going maybe. We'll see what happens. Of Crazy Man G is trying to get a pile drive onto the support, and whoa, that was a rough one. 4 flip-flop right there, getting absolutely zoned out of the fight. Crazy Man G does get flip-flop, but Racer and Water go down, and LeBron James does as well. It's just a disengage time for OU. They didn't get enough out of that fight, and especially for 2. It was only 1 ultimate. I thought it was 2, excuse me. NIU only used 2 to kind of engage there, and they did a really good job with 3 ults on the table. They can certainly hold this to 100. They just have to play very joined up, and it doesn't look like they're going to be doing that. Even the Tracer kind of almost getting caught out there. Flawless does get back to his team, though. Akusora kind of hoping for this Tracer duel, kind of trying to pick him out, isn't able to. Racer gets Crazy Man G immediately. Allegro getting Fresco. This is not what Ohio wanted to see. NIU only using 1 ultimate and just getting an overwhelming fight win. No utility, or not much utility left on the side of Ohio. How would you approach this dry fight? It's pretty much just last fight a point. Would you even try to really go for a main fight here?
With Ball and Tracer and Kiriko and Lucio, all of those are very fast characters. I think they can contest this.
Oh, they can certainly contest, but I don't know.
As we see now.
Yeah, they are going to contest this, and they are going to get a lot out of this. LeBron James immediately getting Allegro, and LeBron James also getting flip-flop. Does look like Hayes is able to get a little bit of a kill going, but I don't think there's enough heals on the side of NIU to really do much. Ohio might be able to just take this. Does look like they're able to turn this. Nice little fight there. Nice little quick fight. I'm going to be honest, when I started bringing that up, I had read the original percentage is like 87. I was like, oh, I don't think they'll be able to reach. It was 77. So, we go again. We go again. Of course, Crazy Man G waiting around this corner right here. Just trying to get a little bit of damage in on somebody. Unable to. No one from the side of NIU really wanting to push this. Alright, and we do see Allegro kind of just get a lot of damage in on a lot of different people right there, but Akusora does have a Pulse Bomb, and I think he's going to use it here. He might just end up going for the Tracer here that's just going to get her out of the fight. We do see, Crazy Man G with 2 already, and the stick. Akusora gets Racer. Crazy Man G getting Hayes, and Akusora cleaning it up. That's team kill right there. It's team kill, team fight, team win. 3-0. Ohio.
I like that. Team fight, team kill, team win.
I don't even know exactly what I said there. That might be what I said.
That is what you said.
We do see Ohio get the 3-0. Oh, and the dramatic wrecking ball animation. Oh, we always love to see that. Of course, this being that kind of, this is the last play for that fight, I believe. Getting 2 kills right there and just able to get enough damage on the rest of them. And just cause disruption. I mean, if Crazy Man G's on ball, it's going to be a disruptive game. Of course, you see him there smiling. This was a fun game for them. They were ready for it. They knew what was on the table, and they knew they had to execute, and they did so. So, always nice to see the players having fun there. And, of course, Crazy Man G on ball. You wanted to see it. I wanted to see it. I'm sure you guys wanted to see it. It happened, and he did a great job. All right. It does look like, of course, Coach is getting ready for a talk. He's got his notes. He's going over them. You're getting ready. We are here, of course, thanks to a couple wonderful sponsors. In the back, we've got a nice little, if I can point to it, PNC plaque right there. Of course, with this, I've had the opportunity to actually look at my PNC account and see different things. I'm going to be honest, I'm disappointed in the lack of finance knowledge I had as a finance student about my own bank account. Wonderful to see. If you check the student account option on the PNC website, there's a whole host of wonderful offerings they have. It's wonderful to have. And of course, it's great to have them aboard. So yeah, always nice to have that. Logan, do you have any closing thoughts for the map tonight, or the game tonight?
I am very excited that we won. 3-0 is awesome, as it always is. It's nice to get a big win after a tragic loss. And what I'm really excited for is Miami.
Yeah, we're all excited for Miami. I've never gotten to cast a Battle of the Bricks, I don't think. So, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be a fun one. Of course, Battle of the Bricks, Ohio versus Miami. I believe Miami is still undefeated, if I remember right.
5-0, I believe.
5-0? Okay, yeah. So, still undefeated. Ohio, not undefeated, but I don't believe Miami's been able to play Ball State and somebody else important. So, we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. This was Ohio Varsity Overwatch against NIU. We hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.
Bye, guys.